Welcome to Aaron's 1972 Datsun 510. Today, in this video, we're going to do a little bit of work around the car to include checking the oil on the transmission, which is really probably why you're here. So if you've been following along, I've been working on this car for about 3 years now, which is crazy to think about. But I finally got it back out on the road and I'm driving it to work every day, but the transmission's making a bit of noise.
Editor's note, it's been 3 months. The transmission was not the problem.
Which is scaring me. This transmission came from California Datsun. The previous owner bought it along with the engine, and I've got to try to figure out whether I've got a bum transmission or whether or not it's going to work. So we're going to check that, and we're also going to walk around the car and do a few little things along the way. I find that finishing a car is a lot of little tasks that often get overlooked. So today we're going to reinstall the hood pop, which is just sort of dangling right now. We're going to go ahead and try to clean up the rest of the nasty stickiness from old masking tape that I've left on the car over the past couple years. And we're going to put some hose clamps on the vent line that's on the fuel tank. So with that, we'll go ahead and start. So on the second day of driving, while I was shutting my door, this mirror fell off. So I recorded a video, but then the SD card error happened, and so I had to reshoot. This was already attached, so you don't get to see it. I cleaned off the back side of this mirror with a razor blade, then I cleaned it up with some alcohol and some acetone, and then I used some weather stripping to seal it to here, and I'm just letting it sit overnight to cure. So that's what this is for, just holding it in place. And now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and move to the back of the car, to the fuel tank, to the fuel filler tank, to put some hose clamps on. Alright, the good news is I put about 7 gallons of fuel in it, and it wasn't completely empty today. And on the way back to the house, I don't see it leaking, so that's good. But I have sloshed around the gas as best I can, just to see if it would leak the first time, and it did. So this isn't the right type of hose, and I'm going to have to replace it sometime soon, but for the time being, I'm going to use it and see what happens. So I'll keep an eye on this. I have these cheap, terrible hose clamps. I hate them. I suggest you use high-quality hose clamps. So do as I say, not as I do, because these are terrible. I find that if I can use a socket wrench, I would rather use a socket wrench. Probably not a surprise to any of you, but leaving things like masking tape on your windows really gives you that finished look. Yeah, it doesn't. So, nothing a little razor blade can't fix, though. Now that's mostly cleaned off. Next time I clean my windows, the windows will clean up nice. So, okay, that's done. Now the not fun part. I need to get way back in there and check the fluid level of this transmission. But I don't really want to bring the car up because I don't want it to be not level. But we will see what we can do here before I might have to put the whole car up on some jack stands but still keep it level, which is something I don't really want to do, but I can if I need to. Okay, so I have broken that piece loose, or plug loose. The way I did that was I did raise up the car just a little bit, so that way I could more easily get to it. Now I'm gonna let it settle down, be on a level surface. We'll get out a little bit of a catch can and see what we're working with. Let's go underneath the car. Okay, so theory here, I should be full right up to the spot with transmission fluid. So I see transmission fluid coming out immediately. It is leaking. Okay, well. To me, I would say that looks like I'm full on transmission fluid. But could it just be what was sitting there? Say it seems like it's full, guys. So what does that mean for the transmission fluid on this thing? Let's take a look at it. It's no good whenever the transmission fluid is full, which is a good thing, but it was making the noises. So how do we fix it? I didn't run this transmission without fluid or oil. I didn't run this transmission without oil, but maybe I didn't run it with good enough oil. So I guess we'll drain it and see what we can do next. So I guess off to the parts store.